Oh, gee.
You feeling all right, Mr. Mackey?
Yeah, I'll be right back. Oh, it's bad. Excuse me, kids, I need to run. Ow!
I put a lot of Arby's horsey sauce on those.
Okay, can somebody give me some paper towels? Or maybe okay. Oh, it's bad.
Different leagues.
One snap.
To win, you gotta not lose.
Welcome back to the bullshit. Week 13. The penultimate week before the regular season finale for college football. Crazy, it still feels like the season just started yesterday. In any event, this is going to be a special week. Why? The SEC took this week off. Outside of 3 games, the SEC will be sitting at home, playing late-season FCS opponents and relaxing for the final time before going to a 9-game conference slate next year. Y'all should have just taken a collective bye week, honestly. Anyways, this week was filled with games that had major ramifications on conference titles and the playoff race, so let's not waste any more time and get on with it. Also, like the video and subscribe if you like what I'm doing here. Helps the algorithm realize that I exist. It's the Bowl Eligibility Bowl in Buffalo, New York. Hey, it's still a superior matchup compared to what football fans got with another Buffalo versus Miami game earlier this month. It also comes with the bonus that somehow both of these teams were still in the race for the MAC title game coming into it. Despite the records being evenly matched, it was clear that these teams were anything but. Just like their pro football cousins down the road, Miami surprisingly knocked off Buffalo. They were down 20-17 in the third before scoring 20 unanswered to win the game. It was so shocking, in fact, that people were bitching on X that the MAC should investigate Buffalo for throwing the game. Sounds dumb as hell, sure, but the quarterback position was a disaster coming into this for Miami. Their starting quarterback, Daquan Finn, fucked off to prepare for the NFL early last week. Then backup quarterback, Henry Hessen, took a turn at quarterback and promptly shat the bed with 3 interceptions against Toledo. Next man up, Thomas Goskowski, a third-string redshirt freshman who's only seen the field once in garbage time against FCS Linwood back in September. He ended up playing way above his pay grade, scoring 2 touchdowns for the Redhawks in what became a dominant performance late. It also doesn't hurt that Jordan Brunson also popped off with 2 tutties and 123 yards on the ground. Miami gets to celebrate their 6th win of the season and clinches bowl eligibility while staying alive for a spot in the MAC title game for now. They still need everything, including the kitchen sink, to go their way, but mathematically it's still possible. Buffalo, on the other hand, is now out of the MAC title race, and their bowl hopes are on life support. It's win or play basketball for them next week. Not that they're any good at that either.
And now, for the next few minutes, as the doke burns.
The battered bastards of Tallahassee take a road trip to North Carolina to take on the Wolfpack of NC State. The Wolfpack are having a flip-flop season of their own, but get the jump on the Seminoles with an interception on Florida State's first drive. The Wolfpack drive downfield and take the lead behind a C.J. Paley touchdown pass. Florida State tries to respond but could only manage to kick 2 field goals in the second. 1 field goal in the second. In the third quarter, a 15-play drive results in a Wolfpack touchdown run from Will Wilson to take a 14-3 lead. Florida State could only drive to midfield, where they turn the ball over on downs the following drive. However, Tommy Castellanos was finally able to string a drive together to score a touchdown on their next possession,
as well as the 2-point conversion. NC State starts to slow down as they are forced to punt on the next drive, but a muff results in NC State keeping the ball. However, they are forced to punt the ball again after going nowhere.
Force another punt. Bearcats call for it. White bumps him! Are you kidding me? NC State
Before this play!
Really? Really, Knowles? 2 punts in a row. 2 fucking punts in a row. And you cannot stop dropping the goddamn ball. This is a fucking joke, right? Please tell me I'm watching a cheap circus and not a football game right now, because I am not amused.
They're going to go for it. Bailey toward the end zone for Jolie. Touchdown!
Let me guess. You fuckers actually drive downfield and try to score, but fuck it up again and lose the game because of it.
That's not even close.
What are you aiming at?
Damn, it's like the same old bullshit with you, Florida State. Every week, in some shape or form, the same crap happens over and over again. Nah, you didn't go 2-10 this year, but it wouldn't shock me at all if you dropped the finale to Florida next week. Fuck this. I'm done talking about you. Just fire Mike Norvell and hope to God you can find someone to fix this mess.
You stupid.
It seems the boosters don't have enough money to buy out Norvell's contract because $60 million turns out to be a lot of goddamn money. You know, if you didn't just get done completing a wholly idiotic renovation of the stadium that removed tens of thousands of seats, or have a massive flop of a lawsuit against the ACC, you might have actually saved some fucking money in the long run. This program is fucked beyond belief, and all hope is lost. Will they make it to a fucking bowl game? Who knows? Find out next week on the season finale of As the Goddamn Dope Burns. I'm done with this shit. Get me the fuck out of here. What, do you think I'm too good for FCS? Did you fuckers forget who the first dumbass of the week was back in September? Besides, this isn't any other football game. It is the game. A matchup almost as old as football itself. Harvard versus Yale. While most years this is the finale of the season for both teams, this season is different. The Ivy League has finally lifted their ban on postseason play for the first time since the early 1950s, which means the winner of this game not only wins the Ivy League title, but also claims an automatic bid to the FCS playoffs. Harvard has at least a share of the Ivy League title already after their win last week, but they need to beat Yale to win it outright and clinch a playoff spot. Yale is 7-2 and needs to win to share the title and clinch the playoff spot themselves. Without a doubt, this is one of the biggest games in the game's long history. So why the fuck is Harvard crimsoning? Good God, it's like North Dakota State took a trip to Connecticut and beat the piss out of some nerds. Yale scored on 4 of their first 5 possessions, and 3 of those scores were touchdowns. It was effectively over early in the third as Yale stomped on Harvard and the Crimson melted into a puddle of their own blood. Fans rushed the Yale Bowl and celebrated the victory as the Bulldogs become the first Ivy League team to earn a postseason game since the Korean War. As for Harvard, they not only lost the rivalry and the outright conference title, but they also lost the goddamn play. Oh wait, they still got into the FCS playoffs as an at-large? Oh well, have fun getting wrecked by Villanova. Ah yes, Wrigley Field, where the babe called his shot and the confines are friendly. It's seen its fair share of chaotic football games as well over the past century, but my God, this one was insanity. This was a shootout in every ugly sense of the word. Northwestern jumped out to a 10-point lead before giving up 21 straight to Minnesota in the second quarter. Hey Northwestern, you might want to do something about this, huh?
Good safety for the next level.
Minnesota will punt it away. Northwestern gets the stop. It was hoping for. That ball's loose. And Minnesota's got it.
Oh, you fucked the ball and give up another touchdown. When does this become a shootout exactly?
They will pass. Stone running for the touchdown.
Missed it.
No good.
What a response from him in the offense. Hyman has the edge. Does he have the speed? Hyman, end zone. Wilde back on the field.
Oh, wide open.
Stone. Komalafe secures. Northwestern in front. Lindsay looking to throw. Looking deep. Down the field for Coleman.
Holy shit.
Did he have? That's a catch. Lindsay looking end zone this time. On the laser. Over to Brockington for the touchdown.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
What the fuck is a defense? Seriously, am I watching the Big 10 or the Big 12? Neither team knew until the dying minutes of the game. Northwestern tried to drive downfield to put the dagger in, but they could only manage a field goal to take a 3-point lead with less than a minute left. Minnesota hurried downfield and managed to get into field goal range. All they gotta do is kick it through, and we will be going to overtime.
To overtime. From 40. For OT at Wrigley.
Nope.
No good!
You are a disgrace!
Where have I seen this before?
Left hash. Snap good. Spot down. Walsh's kick is up. And it is no good. He missed it. Are you kidding me? The season can't end like that. He missed it left.
Boys, you know you don't have to be like your sterile cousins downtown, right? I guess 7-5 PJ Fleck is written in stone at this point. Congrats on allowing Northwestern to win their first game at Wrigley Field. Now go get your free win against Wisconsin and fuck off. I swear, both teams quit in this game. If you missed the first half, you saw next to nothing in the second. The Sooner defense continued to be a dominant force, harassing the returning Bo Pribula all game long and keeping Ahmad Hardy contained. Mizzou was shut out in the second half, and honestly, I'm not shocked by this point. Oklahoma doesn't have a flashy offense right now, but the defense is one of the best in the country. They're starting to get hot at the exact moment they needed to the most. It won't get them an SEC championship, but it should get them to the playoffs so long as they win next week. Thank you for not playing FCS cannon fodder like most of the SEC this week, by the way. An obligatory fuck you to Texas A&M, Alabama, and Auburn, as well as a kiss my ass to LSU, South Carolina, and Georgia for playing Group of 5 schools. Seriously, Georgia? Charlotte? That's like going turkey hunting with an AC-130. Dukes. I know that the committee continues to snub you and you're already in the Sun Belt title game, but what the actual fuck are you doing? Did you forget that Wazoo lost to their fellow Pac-12 lifeboat partner Oregon State, who has 2 wins total? I've seen playing down in competition, but holy shit, you bastards are not even trying. Quit playing with your food and fucking eat it already, will ya? God damn it, I sound like I'm talking to my kids now.
Motion that direction again. This time the handoff goes to Knight. He's got a big hole. He's heading to the 40, to the 30. He's going to make it to the end zone. The streamers will fly at James Madison. Touchdown.
Congratulations, you did the bare fucking minimum. I hate to tell you, but nearly losing to Wazoo is a Pyrrhic victory. Yeah, you won, but you look like hot ass. Only way you make the playoffs now is if the American caves in on itself. Even then, I still think San Diego State is a better case if they win the Mountain West. If your goal was to be featured in a video of mine, congratulations, you did it in the most infuriating way possible. This was a must-win for both sides. Oregon is currently behind Ohio State and Indiana and needs to win out and hope for someone above them to lose. USC already has 2 losses, but beating Oregon would give them the tiebreaker. They also would need to see someone above them lose, but I mean, shit, anything's possible, right? Look at this, they even scored first, and despite Oregon being Oregon, they're keeping it close. USC hasn't won here since 2011, but I think for once they actually have a shot to knock off the Ducks.
20 to go, third quarter. Moore fires, and Kenyon Sadiq, touchdown.
Gotcha. Of course USC got blown out. Oregon let the Trojans think they had a chance before running out of the Trojan horse themselves with chainsaws and flamethrowers. You actually thought that a Lincoln Riley USC team was going to do anything against a top 10 team? If you did, you were either stuck in a cave for the last 6 or 7 years or delusional. This was a game that saw USC make feeble attempts to get themselves back into it before either blowing themselves up or getting blown out by Oregon's high-powered offense. In the least surprising result of the day, Oregon beat USC again. They continue to sit pretty for a playoff spot while waiting to see if Indiana or Ohio State fucks up next week. USC, we all knew this was coming. The only surprise here is that it took this long. I'd say fire Lincoln Riley, but with all the other power teams out looking for a coach right now, I expect you to sell for mediocrity and sit this cycle out. Obligatory fuck you to Lincoln Riley, you fucking hack. Utes? The fuck are you doing now? I know K-State was projected to be in the Big 12 title game back in August, but it's November and they're 5-5. I get it. Neither of you have a defense that's worth a shit for some reason, but the Wildcat offense is just tearing through Utah like a hot knife through butter. Joe Jackson is absolutely toying with you fuckers with nearly 300 yards rushing by himself. Oh yeah, you got close to the second quarter being down 24-21, but then Joe Jackson said fuck that and took one to the house for over 80 yards. Only reason you still have something of a chance is because Kansas State's defense is also non-existent, and suddenly we're in a classic Big 12 shootout scenario. That said, with Jackson's third touchdown coming off of a Utah fumble in the fourth quarter, I think the upset is all but a certainty at this point. It would take a serious fuck up by K-State to derail their momentum.
Johnson is going to throw, and it's knocked away, deflected, and actually intercepted. There is a penalty flag. Returnable, and here goes Utah. Teo Johnson. Avery Johnson trying to catch him. Teo Johnson angling, and he's going to go all the way.
Momentum derailed. Utah immediately follows up the pick 2 with a touchdown pass from Devin Dampier, and they're now within 3 points. In order for Utah to have a chance, they need to force a 3-and-out. And for only the third time all night, they do. Devin Dampier then breaks a 59-yard run that sets up the game-winning touchdown for the Utes. 98 total points scored, over 1,100 yards of offense, and Kansas State fails again. Classic Big 12 football.
Seeing Diego yesterday, I think Baker Mayfield probably a little bit taller.
Downfield, Pavia got him in stride. Richardson, touchdown Commodores. From the 15. Pass complete, caught by Richardson. Did he make it? Touchdown, Commodores! And bringing a little bit of pressure, Calzado downfield. Picked off at the 25. It'll come back the other way. That's looking for another score before the end of the half. Downfield, caught, complete. They call him Diego Pavia. In the backfield. Pavia into the end zone. Caught! Sherrill, touchdown! To the bottom of your screen. Takes it himself and scores it. Diego Pavia with another touchdown.
Yards now. This has to be a stat-building drive for Diego Pavia.
That was 37, looking for a chunk here. Touchdown, what a catch by Hoskins!
I would say the Bearcats played the best football of the weekend downtown, but that was actually the game between St. X and Moeller at Paycor Stadium Friday night. 20,000 people enjoyed an epic game for high school football supremacy. The following night, however, we revert back to the usual. Cincinnati dies lull. Sorsby didn't fail them. He threw for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he is starting to slip. He threw his 3rd pick in the last 4 games in this one. The real problem, their kicker. He missed 3 goddamn field goals, which would have been nice to have back in hindsight at the end of the game. Also, would have been nice if the fans in Nippert weren't being dickheads. BYU just dominated on the ground the entire game. Don't look at the score, you don't need to blow out the opponent to show dominance. You just need LJ Martin to have a career night with over 200 yards rushing. Bear Bachmeier needed to only do cleanup work here and there to complement the attack. BYU might actually clinch their spot in the Big 12 title game with this victory. Let's see if Arizona State lost. Wait, they played Colorado?
Second most in the country. Udo, straight ahead, touchdown.
Yeah, never mind. We're going to need to wait for the final week to figure this one out. It was fun while it lasted, Cincy, but the Queen City, frankly, has already moved on to a real contender. Come on, UFC. You gave up 4 goddamn goals against Inter Miami in the conference semifinals? I know that Miami has Messi on the team, but holy fuck, guys. Are we just allergic to non-league matches? No matter if it's the US Open Cup, the MLS playoffs, or the fucking Leagues Cup, Gary the Lion always ends up drinking himself into a coma because of another postseason exit. Yeah, you qualified for CONCACAF in February, but no one really cares because we're going to get slaughtered after like 1 or 2 wins anyways. You really know how to fit in with the other teams in Cincy, don't you? Oh, wait. Wrong football. My bad. Back to why you're here. Dear Lord, what in the name of God happened here? Illinois has been inconsistent at times this season, but I didn't think they would have a total stroke against, of all teams, Wisconsin. Apparently running the ball is back in fashion because Darian Dupree single-handedly carried Wisconsin to a blowout victory over the fucking Illini. For the first time in years, we saw some actual old-school Wisconsin football. Ground and pound, hard-nosed, physically dominant football. Of all the times for it to happen, this was the least likely, and yet that's what we got. Dupree was evoking memories of Ron the Great Dane with this performance. Thanks to this win, I'm somehow starting to think you bastards actually have a chance against Minnesota next week, despite you being without a real quarterback. This is the kind of win you desperately needed if you're a Wisconsin fan. It's a sign of life for a team we all thought were dead to rights. Now, let's all laugh at Brett Bielema losing to his old school.
Ready?
And now, the fastest 3 minutes in college football. It's rapid fire. You lost to Akron on Pudge's senior night. Yeah, Pudge might now be back at Bowling Green next year. Delete your program. Well, so much for those conference title hopes, eh, Red Wolves? Mr. Ratdam Mullen keeps the Rebels alive for the Mountain West. Aloha, Warriors. Enjoy the Hawaii Bowl. The beatings will continue until morale improves. This is the year we are finally going to beat that team up north, goddammit! This was the equivalent of burning the orange at the fucking stake. Dear God. Look, it's not all bad, Hokies. Your savior has arrived. James Franklin? He scored 6 touchdowns against the Holiday Hams. The hell you want, a compliment? Fuck off. Well, Squid Tart is a happy man right now. First one in the swamp in more than 20 years. Sure, you played a historically bad Gators team that already fired their coach, but it's still the greatest win Tennessee has had all year. Fuck off, Houston. You're trash. Hey, look, it's Michigan. Mother of God, why? The Pony Express has run over a flock of birds. Oh, look at that. Army is about to be bowl eligible.
Coaches should be thinking about on the sideline. They do get the play before the 2-minute timeout. In the end zone, Smith has got a touchdown. Tulsa up. Morgan has got it.
Who the fuck coaches this team? Benedict Arnold? Did someone say 9-win UConn? Because that's what you got. 9-win UConn. Hell yeah. L-Tech got a W at the expense of eliminating Liberty from bowl season and making it in themselves?
And there was much rejoicing.
You're down 17-7 against Sparty? Tell me it's a joke, right?
Drew Stevens, can he be the hero? His kick is on the way, and Drew Stevens walks it off on his final day in Kinnick Stadium.
Yeah, the only joke I see here is Sparty themselves. What? You thought Belichick could win against Duke? They're still ACC contenders. Kinda. Thanks for coming to the conference contenders party, ECU. At least you were relevant for once.
The players want that axe.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. Win the whole fucking thing.
Wait, Brian Kelly's son is a senior at LSU and he didn't show up for it? Karma would have been LSU losing to the Tops, but a 3-point narrow victory works. And now, the final game. The game against Boston College should have been a wake-up call for the Jackets last week. Unfortunately, they overslept and missed their opportunity. They had the chance to fulfill their destiny and knock off Pitt to clinch a spot in the ACC title game for the first time since 2012 and potentially win their first ACC crown since they won the Natty in 1990. Sadly, their title run, which has been on shaky ground the last few weeks, has gone off the damn rails. Georgia Tech tried to release the Bees but ended up getting swarmed themselves. Pitt Panthers, the same team who prolapsed so hard last week against Notre Dame that a wild urine tree appeared out of nowhere on this show, took the Jackets to the woodshed on their own field. Joe Heisman and Bobby Dodd spit in disgust at this sight. 28 to fucking nothing. Way to go. You might as well start saying your prayers against Georgia.
Catered for the first time. King keeps it. King into the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. Gonna throw on 3rd and goal. Pressure in his face. Throws back in the end zone. It's caught by Canyon. And he got a foot down. Touchdown.
Oh no. Please. Panthers. Why now? Why are you fucking pitting now? It shocks me, but per my sources, this is apparently the norm. Georgia Tech is driving down the field, about to make it a 7-point game. Fucking spare me.
He'll throw again on 3rd and goal. And his pass is intercepted. It's picked off by Lovelace. He might run it back. Lovelace is gone. What an incredible turnaround.
No one is more shocked by this turn of events than Pitt fans. Tech went from potentially being only a touchdown away from tying with all the momentum on their side to suddenly being down 21 again. It's like they get off on making their fans absolutely miserable. That said, the Tech defense is finally stepping up and shutting down Mason Heitschel and Shakarian Turner, who ran circles around them in the first half. Not good for Pitt, but they have a 2-score lead late, so just don't do anything stupid and it'll be fine.
Continues to dial up the pressure on Mason Heitschel. And they fake it. It's a direct snap. And the up back falls down. Direct snap to Hicks. He stumbles and falls down. And Georgia Tech's going to have the ball inside the Pitt 40-yard line.
What the actual fuck are you doing? No, seriously, are you brain dead? In what world did you think this was a good idea, Narduzzi? You still have the lead. Georgia Tech is the one that needs to get points, not you. You watched Kirby Smart's onside kick last week against Texas and thought you could pull your own version of that bullshit, didn't you? Well, guess what, fucker? The turf monster takes no prisoners. Tech scores because of fucking course they do. It's now 35-28, and with Bobby Dodd rocking and everything going Tech's way, Pitt needs to come through right here and right now if they want to avoid overtime.
Give to Turner, up the middle, first down and more. Inside the 30, Turner inside the 10, all the way for the Pittsburgh touchdown, and possibly the dagger on Georgia Tech's ACC title game hopes.
I felt a great disturbance in the force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. I fear something terrible has happened.
Brutal. Absolutely fucking brutal. Pitt straight up called game and scored their first offensive touchdown since the second quarter. Amazingly enough, the Pitt Panthers now have a chance to play for the ACC championship if they beat Miami next week. As for Georgia Tech, nothing else needs to be said. All you had to do was win and you were in the title game. But you failed to address the obvious problems you've had on defense the last few weeks. After the wild ride of September and October, November brings no mercy. Barring some chaotic clusterfuck, you're out of the ACC title game completely. Enjoy being dumbass of the week. Absolutely zero excuses for this to have happened. Haynes King will always be a legend in Atlanta, but the what-ifs will be deafening for years to come. And now, a moment of silence for those teams who unfortunately will not be able to go bowling this December. May the harvest of recruits and transfers be fruitful, and the NIL money be bountiful. This is the way. Oh, wait, somebody got fired? Finally! It's been weeks!
Bring out Jaden! Bring out Jaden!
9 years. 9 fucking years. Nearly a decade of Justin Wilcox running the Golden Bears. And what did you get from all that time? You went 48-55, 26-47 in conference play, and a Redbox Bowl trophy back in 2019. The fact that a power football program held on to him that long is a miracle on its own. Since 2019, they have barely sniffed 6 wins a season. Sure, they have had a little bit of a resurgence behind their quarterback JKS and got that win over a ranked Louisville, but running into a wall of fucking trees and losing the axe was more than general manager Ron Rivera could handle. It's a risk considering the extremely competitive coaching market right now, but it was the right call. You got all you could with a 9-year tenure from Wilcox. Sadly, all you got was just a pile of shit. Alright, with all that said, let's check on the conference title races around FBS right now. Going back to the American, yeah, nothing really got solved this week. Everything's still a hot mess. The only thing that happened was East Carolina died against UTSA, which eliminated them from the race. For Tulane, it's winning in. They're playing fucking Charlotte, so go ahead and pencil them in now. Navy is in a similar situation as Tulane. It's winning in for them as well. However, they have a tougher opponent in Memphis. Yes, I know, they collapsed against ECU last week, but it's not a gimme. If Navy sinks, North Texas clinches a title game spot with a win. South Florida is still technically involved, but they need to win and hope for full-blown chaos to make it in on tiebreakers. Georgia Tech dropped the fucking ball. With the Jackets being done with ACC conference play, they need everyone to lose and hope tiebreakers swing their way. Their loss also means that Virginia will make the ACC championship with a win on Saturday. SMU is essentially in as well, as long as they win thanks to tiebreakers. Pitt needs a win, plus SMU or Virginia losing. Miami is still alive but needs to win and have both SMU and Virginia to lose and have tiebreakers swing their way. Regardless of who wins the ACC, they better not have more than 2 losses or else the ACC champion could very well be out of the playoffs. With USC shitting the bed again, that leaves us with 4 possible options going into the final week for the Big Ten Championship. Indiana was idle this week, so their goal remains the same. Beat Purdue and you're in. The real fuckery begins if they were to somehow lose. Should that happen, they would need Ohio State to beat Michigan. They would still be in with a loss if Oregon wins next week, but Michigan winning would kick them out via tiebreakers. Speaking of my mortal enemies, that means the game between Ohio State and Michigan is essentially an elimination game. If the Wolverines somehow win, they would need Oregon or Indiana to lose to go to Indianapolis themselves. We will cover that game live here on YouTube this Saturday. 4 teams remain in the hunt for the Big 12 championship game: Texas Tech, BYU, Utah, and Arizona State. For Tech and BYU, they control their destiny this weekend. They win their games and we have a rematch in Arlington. Arizona State needs UCF to beat BYU to get in. If that doesn't happen, they could also get in if Utah and Texas Tech loses. Utah only makes it in if Tech, Arizona State, and BYU all lose this week. In other words, they would need a complete miracle. It's pretty straightforward in Conference USA. Jacksonville State got upset by FIU, while Kennesaw State won their game. Western Kentucky lost as well, but since it was non-conference against LSU, that doesn't matter. Jacksonville State and Western play this week, which means it's winning in for both teams. Kennesaw State will make the championship with a win over Delaware. The MAC has got itself sorted out, kinda. Western Michigan, you win, you're in. Pretty straightforward still. Ohio needs to win and see Western or Miami lose. Miami needs to win. They also need Ohio and Toledo to win as well in order to get in via tiebreakers. Toledo needs to beat Central Michigan and hope Miami loses their game in order for them to get in. And the Chippewas need to win and hope Ohio and Miami lose. Even though this conference is irrelevant in terms of the national race, this race is by far the biggest mess out of all the conferences. With Hawaii and Fresno losing, they're now out of the picture in the Mountain West. Boise State and San Diego State are in the driver's seat and should make the conference title game if they both win. If the Aztecs or the Broncos lose, it opens the door for New Mexico or UNLV to make the title game. Should everyone finish with a 3 or 4-way tie, then an average of 4 computer rankings will determine who goes. Since one ranking isn't available to the public, we can't accurately predict how that would go. Best guess we have is that San Diego State and UNLV would be the most likely matchup in that case, but we'll have to wait and see if that actually happens. It's winner take all for the Pac-12 this weekend. Despite Oregon being trash, they did beat Wazoo a few weeks back. Wazoo needs to win to not only win the conference, but also just to go fucking bowling. Sicko's Bowl 10 is gonna be a dandy. Since everyone played fucking cupcakes, nothing has changed for the SEC. Texas A&M remains on the easiest path, with everybody below them needing help. I won't repeat myself again, it's the same scenarios as last week. In the Sun Belt, it has come down to 2 teams in the Sun Belt West. The winner of Troy versus Southern Miss moves on to face James Madison for the conference title. Arkansas State was in the race, but the loss to Louisiana on Thursday knocked them out. That's it for this week. Make sure to check out my last video where I destroyed LSU and everyone that brought the program down. I'll be live Saturday at noon for Ohio State versus Michigan. The final week has dawned on the 2025 regular season. Here's hoping it's a memorable one.